to Night Flight and tonight's profile of music video director Tim Pope.
A film of all time, which is of another president of yours, Nixon, right? And it's a great piece of television in my mind because he's standing there. It's in the old days of those, before these cameras had, they had those old black and white TV tubes, probably like what my shirt's doing, right? And they had those old tubes, and the picture was shifting like this. And he was standing in front of a fire, and he stood there, right? And he stood there, and he said, "What makes a man?" I'll do it. He says, "What makes a man come up here and bare his soul to this great TV nation?" And suddenly the camera went, because this is like a real political piece of filmmaking, the camera went like that and moved in towards him to make the point. He said, "Because I love my country." And I thought that was great, right on, I thought. I thought it was my favourite bit of TV. A lot of promos, it strikes me, are very untruthful because what they do is sit somebody in front of a camera and they go like this, and then they go like that, and they go like that, and they look meaningful, and then they do this, right, and then they go like that. And what they do then, they get it in the editing suite and they chop it all together, and it means nothing. Now, if you create the truth actually in front of the camera, right, I'm looking like a nutter in front of the camera now, right, I'm being truthful because I'm a nutter, right, but if you create truth in front of the camera, then I don't need to do those techniques.
Tim Pope helped shape and not having a definitive Tim Pope style.
I tell you, I feel very strongly about this, you see. What I think I'm doing is articulating for bands what they would articulate, could they work with film, you see. So it's irrelevant what my style is. I've got a million different styles. See, one day I can go out and I can make a home movie and go like that with the camera. Next day I can make, as I've just done with Queen, an almighty feature film. See, I really object to these video directors who are desperately want to make feature films, and they really haven't got the talent. So what they tend to do is I can't think of a polite term for it, so I won't say the word. I can't think of a polite term. They tend to indulge themselves, shall I say. I can think of there's a rude word in English for that. And they tend to impose images on top of a song. Now, all my films, I try and make work like that with the music, right? So the sound and the pictures tend to mean the same thing. Whereas it strikes me a lot of promos, and I feel very strongly, and having spoken to a lot of musicians, I think they could die, I think promos could die if they carry on like that, if they impose these stupid images which mean nothing on top of something.
There's no relationship to why an image is there.
I hate all that stuff. So in answer to your previous question, yeah, I've got a million styles because I work with a million bands, you see. So if I work with Susie and the Banshees, I've got an image which is them, and if I work with Hall and Oates, I've got an image which is them. Men Without Hats, an image which is them. Neil Young, an image which is them. TV. Talking, you know, I just like those political ideas of working. So I always work on faces. And also, just one other thing, I think fans, if I were a fan, I don't want to see some pretentious arty director's concept. I want to see the band. I want to see the people.